Oh, he's a delight. You know, when I think about Don, I think of two words: passion and excitement. He has a passion for leadership. He's excited about the nonprofit sector, and he has a passion for excellence.
Don is an incredible person to work with. He really approaches everything he does with an attitude of service.
His goal was really to help us to administer better and to think about governance better.
He can take something that's a combination of some dry data, an academic article, thought piece from a nonprofit leader, and throw in a book on spiritual principle and a sidebar from Yogi Berra, and just put all that together and come out with a really unique way to look at a situation.
Before he got into consulting and helping others kind of think through what they're trying to do, he was a practitioner, and so he walked in the shoes of the people that he's been trying to help for the last 20-odd years.
He's also just been doing this work for a really long time, and so he's a great connector of people. I think he really understands the sector in a deep and personal way.
I got to know this guy very, very well over the 9 months of the strategic plan, and he was clearly in the trenches with us when we were going through this very intensive organizational process. On the phone in the weekends, it's that kind of commitment and that kind of relationship, and I think Don understood that. We're wedded at the hip, if you will, and in fact, you know, it's pretty interesting being wedded at the hip for 9 months with a Don Crocker.
We were working on a big project together, and we had 50 board members who needed to be interviewed, and I was struggling with how we were going to manage that many interviews in a very short period of time. And Don just immediately said, well, just have them interview each other. And it was the perfect solution. It was immediate, it was creative, it was strategic, and it worked out great. That's the way that Don works. That's why I like working with him, is because he's fast and thoughtful and creative all at once.
And so that really shines through in the support center, and that was sort of the energy you got from him whenever you met with him to talk about the business of the support center, and really becomes sort of the platform for how we think about the health of the sector today.
He quickly knew our culture. He understood the community-based nature of our services. He was not shy about talking about what we had to do in terms of board engagements.
He's also fearless. He tells the truth. He's not afraid to tell clients what's going on or how he sees the situation, and doesn't ever try to tailor his opinion to what he thinks the client wants to hear. He tells the client what he thinks the client needs to hear.
And I often confuse Don with a social worker because he listens very well. And so, despite experiencing ornery board members, he can listen to that and convert it into a positive message.
Working with Don is actually just a lot of fun. He has a sincerity about him and just a real sense of real kind of looseness, and he's just a lot of fun to work with.
You know, Don and I have shared so many laughs and so many stories, and I feel like the one person who can outperform me with self-deprecating humor is Don. You know, Don's always fond of talking about like how he learned his sales skills selling vinyl siding, and how he incorporates that and how he likes to pitch. And then he's just always been like up for a drink or let's grab a bite, and just sort of like appreciating how important that is, you know, given how hard the work is.
He has an enormous amount of experience and wisdom. You know, we need people like Don Crocker in our field.
Don's a great guy, and I've enjoyed working with him.
I'm grateful for the work that he does, for the talents that he has, the extraordinary questions that he asks.
What I really appreciate about Don, I mean, he's obviously a good friend and a good colleague, but what I think I would thank him the most for has been for an almost 15-year dialogue, of which I have benefited from greatly. I'd like to think I'm a little smarter and a little more thoughtful about what I do as a professional because Don has been in my life and has taught me a lot about what we're trying to do in making this city a better place to live and to work in.
I know that working with him, I'm a better consultant as a result of that, and to some degree a better person just for knowing him. So thank you, Don.